Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 247. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is a good friend of mine, Mitch Hallock. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you, Keith, for having me. I appreciate it.
Now, for people who want to know what the talk show is about, it's basically my way of showing people that even with having a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. But you should never give up, and you should prove to people you still amount to something, no matter what. But labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, and you can just say, hey, this is what I want to do with my life, and go and do it. That being said, half hour, 45 minutes every time, say anything you want. Theme of the show is uncensored. So freedom of speech, freedom of self-expression. And for people who want to know well about you, you are the CEO and creator of your own Comic-Con. And what can you tell us about that?
Sorry about the phone. What I can tell you about that is TERRIFICON is a fantastic event happening here at the Mohegan Sun for 3 days, this August 19th to the 21st. And it's more than just a Comic-Con. I mean, we have so many guests from media, like TV and movies, and we also have people involved with video games coming. The way I look at the events now, because pop culture has been immersed in geek culture with comic books, movies, TV, all that stuff. This is like, you know, Woodstock, when they had the Woodstock event back in the 60s and all the fans, the young people, the hippies got together with the rock stars, and for a couple days out there they just went crazy and just were immersed in like-minded people, and they loved the culture. That's basically what this is, except without the mud and all the drugs and all that stuff. But it's a giant celebration of everything that's cool to us. Comic books, movies, TV, video games, role-playing games, you name it, cosplay. And I'm the middle of that. I'm the ringmaster. I'm trying to keep it all under control until it happens. And does that make sense?
No, absolutely. Now, for your event, what are the biggest names of your stars who are going to be there?
Oh my goodness. Probably the biggest one I just got off the phone with when you called was Kevin Smith. He's nice enough to come down for Saturday night, and he will be doing an evening with Kevin Smith, they call it. It starts around 7:30, 8 o'clock, and it can go on until like 11 or more. He doesn't stop talking. So it's a great opportunity for fans of his to come to Connecticut to enjoy the Comic-Con, and then later on, for a little extra, they can go see Kevin Smith. So he's probably my biggest guest, and I'm a huge fan of his since Clerks back in the 90s, and I've loved everything he's done. So he's an inspiration to me, and I appreciate all his work. So having him at the show is like having the Pope come and do his blessing and making it all worthwhile. After Kevin Smith, we have Michael Cutlitz from The Walking Dead, who plays Abraham, the ginger there with the camo on and always the wisecracking mouth. He'll be here. He can't tell you if he got killed by Negan in the last episode, so don't even bother asking him. He's going to be here for days. And then the next biggest guest after that, would have to say, is Cameron Bicondova, who plays young Selena Kyle on the show Gotham on on Fox. She plays the young Catwoman. And I announced her about a month ago on 4th of July, and it was like fireworks. Everybody was excited to see her. She hasn't done many conventions. I think this is her second or third one ever, and never in the Northeast. So this is a big deal for fans of Gotham and Catwoman. And it just goes on and on. I've got Jason Mewes. You can't have Kevin Smith without Jason Mewes. His Robin to Batman, or Silent Bob and Jay. We've got Renee Auberjonois, who was on Star Trek Deep Space Nine for years. He played Odo. We've got John Wesley Shipp coming back. He's a great guy. Plays the Flash on the old show, and now he plays Jay Garrick, the new Flash, on the new Flash TV show. Sam Jones, Flash Gordon, Sean Gunn, who was in Guardians of the Galaxy, and his brother James Gunn directed both of the movies, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. All the comic book men, Brian Johnson, Mike Zapsik, Ming Chen, Road Warrior Animal, if you're into wrestling. Candyman himself, Tony Todd, who's actually from Connecticut. Before I forget, Mallrats, we have Jeremy London, who is the star of Mallrats. Katrina Law, who's on Arrow, and she's on another show called Spartacus, and she's going to be on another show called Training Day. And that's it for TV, movie celebrities at the moment. And then when you come to comic books, we've got Dan Slott, the guy behind Spider-Man. We've got Paul Levitz, the former president of DC Comics. We've got Mark Bagley, Steve Epting, who co-created the Winter Soldier character at Marvel. Scott Koblish, who does Deadpool. Brian Posehn, who's a comedian who also writes Deadpool. We've got over 50 artists and writers from Marvel and DC. So it's a Comic-Con. It's pop culture. It's terrific. That makes sense?
No, absolutely.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Now, what about the cosplayers?
Oh, my goodness. Cosplayers, we've got local guys that are just fantastic. We've got Ruby and Jennifer Rose. Planet Ruby, you might know him as. He's got a website. He comes to our show. He's got outfits like Grodd and Solomon Grundy, and this year he's got the Batman armor suit from Batman vs. Superman. We've got Sony Erlin, who's a big cosplayer down south. She's coming on up. She's going to be co-hosting the after party with Ming Chen. We've got local cosplayer right here, JC Cosplay, who lives in my town here in Connecticut. Bob DeSimone, who's our Batman. CT Joker. Folks from the New York, DC cosplay group. Ariana Velez. Captain Jack Smithy, who's a pirate, who's going to be there for the kids on Saturday. Oh, the biggest cosplayer we have, literally the biggest one, is the fellow who made the Hulkbuster suit last year in New York Comic Con. It's like a 10-foot tall, fully operational Iron Man Hulkbuster costume. And he'll be there for all 3 days. That's Tom DiPetrillo of Extreme Designs or Extreme Costumes. It's amazing to see. And of course there's a cosplay costume contest, and even for the kids we do a parade on Sunday. So there's a lot.
No, absolutely. Now, for people who would be interested in working with you, number one, how would they go about that? And number two, for tickets, are tickets still available, and what tickets do you do?
Tickets are available at the Mohegan Sun box office 7 days a week. You could simply go down there and buy the tickets. It's only $30. Free parking, which is a big deal nowadays. And the other thing is we have a couple comic book stores within Connecticut, depending on where you live, that are selling the tickets as well. There's Legends of Superhero Comics up in Middlebury. There's a Timeless Journey comic shop in Stamford, Connecticut. There's Sarge's Comics in New London, Connecticut. And Omni Comics, which is up north near Hartford. So if you can't get all the way to Mohegan Sun, you can go there. You don't have to pay any online Ticketmaster fees. The other thing, buy your tickets early, because a lot of people wait to the last minute, and it's not a place that can fit 100,000 people like New York Comic Con. There is a chance it'll sell out. So I don't want people driving all the way up to Connecticut and then finding out it sells out. So I urge you to get the tickets early, or just keep checking the website, because if it is sold out, I will let you know ahead of time.
No, absolutely. Now, for people who want to work with you, when is the deadlines, and what are the rules and the reservations?
Sure. If you go to our TERRIFICON group page, it's a group that we have on Facebook. You can go under forms. First, you join the group. We'll let you in. And then there's a form to fill out, and you just pick it up and you mail it in the post office, and you fill out the information if you've worked cons before, and your name and contact information and email. Sign it, drop it in the mailbox, send it back to me here in Connecticut, and if we're interested, we'll give you a call. So that's how you can volunteer. We're always looking for volunteers. It's always a good way to help. You get to work half the show. We get pizza, we get soda, we get a nice T-shirt, and you get to meet the actors and writers, and then the other half of the day, you get to walk around as a fan. So it's not too much to ask.
No, absolutely. Now, for people who want to volunteer, what would their roles be?
Pretty much it's directional stuff, like telling people where to go in a nice way. You actually get to do that. You could, tell people this is where the artist alley is, this is what time the panel is, this is what time the actors are coming back to sign their autographs. It's just that type of thing, just really helping out other fans, telling them how to get around the show.
All right. Now, the next thing I want to ask you is who influenced you to create your own Comic-Con, and how many years have you been running?
Well, I was organizing and producing another show in Connecticut for a couple years, but TERRIFICON is my sole baby. This is me on the tightrope putting it out there. So there was a show last year I produced at the Mohegan Sun, a comic convention, and then this year TERRIFICON is my baby, and it's all by itself. And in fact, I've been so inspired to do it that there'll be 2 shows in 2017, knock on wood. One's going to be all about gaming, and that's in April. That's all about video games, board games, tabletop games, card games, you name it. And it's called GamerCon. And there'll be more information about that at the show, and there'll be a website in September. Then TERRIFICON returns next August, August 18th to the 20th. So that'll be the Comic-Con. That's the traditional comic book convention. And then you have your gaming convention in April. And they both have cosplay, and they both have cool stuff. There's a little overlap between the two, but the focus is definitely separated. Comics in August, games in April. So we'll see. I hope to do this for many years to come. I really enjoyed this. It's one of my passions, and who doesn't like talking about comic books and movies and TV all day and getting paid for it? So it's the best of both worlds.
Absolutely. And now, how did you get a hold of those famous celebrities?
Oh, well, I do podcasts like yourself since 2007, so it's almost 10 years now. I work on a show called the IndieCast, and that was all about Indiana Jones back in the day because it was filming right here in New Haven, where I'm from. And I started doing interviews and set reports from Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And that was a weekly podcast, and then we went monthly because there wasn't any new Indiana Jones movies. But other than talking about Indiana Jones, I would get press passes, and I would go to New York Comic-Con, I'd go to Boston Comic-Con, Baltimore Comic-Con, Wizard Worlds, and I would bring my microphone, and I'd go out there, and I'd start to talk to actors and writers and artists, and this has been going on for years. So when it comes time to put a show together and to get actors to come to the show, a lot of them I've already met, so I already know their agents or their producers or their talent. So I literally just email folks and say, hey, it's me. I interviewed you a couple years ago. I'm doing a show here at the Mohegan Sun in August. Would you like to come? And pretty much I haven't heard no. Either they turn you down because they're doing something, their schedule doesn't allow it. They're working on a movie or a TV show or a book. But pretty much I've had success with everybody I've asked that's come to the show, including Kevin Smith.
No, absolutely. And now, when you first created your own Comic-Con, how did that come about? Did you need a venue? How did you create the name? How did all of this come from just an imagination to, okay, now you actually have something?
Yeah, that's a good question. I had been doing advertising and marketing since 1989. I went to college for art. I got a job as a graphic designer. I became an art director, creative director, and then a marketing director. So I've been doing trade shows. I remember it was July 10th. I think it was 1990. I was 24 years old. It was my 24th birthday. I was on a plane to Las Vegas. And to be honest with you, it was the first time I ever was on an airplane. I was 24 years old. I never went anywhere when I was a kid. I never went to Disney World. But this is my first time on a plane, and I was going to work a convention in Las Vegas. So I went there, and I learned how to set up a booth. I learned how trade shows work. And then my boss would send me to a different city every single month for like 2 years. So I went to New Orleans, San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Phoenix, everywhere, San Diego, San Francisco, LA. And I would do trade shows. And then you get to know how a trade show works. You get to learn about setup. You get to learn about electricians and pipe and drape and shipping and all that stuff, all the logistic stuff. And then I would work marketing, so I would go to promote these events. So I'd say, hey, come and see Micro Warehouse, that's where I worked, at the Javits Center for PC Expo, or go to Macworld Expo. So I would learn how to promote to let people know that you're going to be at a trade show booth. And then that involves public relations, that involves TV, that involves direct mail, advertising, radio commercials. This is before the internet. So you get to learn how things work. If you're going to have an event, you have to know how to tell people that it's happening. And that's the trick of it. That's really all the secret to all the success. The more you promote, the more you tell, the more you sell. So if people know that you're going to do a comic convention, they got to know about it. They got to know who's there. They got to know when it is, how much it costs. I mean, it sounds basic and simplistic. Like, of course, you got to do that. But a lot of people don't succeed or execute well when it comes to comic conventions because they forget it's not just getting great guests. You could have Harrison Ford and Stan Lee showing up at your Comic-Con, but if no one knows about it, you're going to have a great time talking to Harrison Ford and Stan Lee all day because no one's there. So you don't always have to have the biggest guests. You don't always have to have the best artists and writers. What you need to do is just tell people about it. You just have to promote. And that's a secret. That's one of the things I'm proud of myself, that I know how to do a lot of this stuff. So yes, and then when it comes time to do the show, you need, like you said, a good venue. You have to find a place that's easily accessible, that people want to go there, that there's stuff to do around there after the convention's over, like whether it's to eat or sleep or go to a movie or do something. Because if you're going to have people there for a couple days, they're not going to be stuck inside the convention center for all that time. They want to go out and they want to hang out with their friends and have a good time. So one of the keys is making sure that you get a location that is in a big area that allows people to do more than just look for comic books and get autographs all day. And where I am at the Mohegan Sun, you can't ask for better than that. Besides the free parking, even if you don't like to gamble, because they have, slot machines and casino stuff and all that, they have stores, they have great restaurants, they have live entertainment, they have comedians, music. So it's like being in Disney World. That's what I tell people. Having this show here at the Mohegan Sun is like going to an adult Disney World. There's stuff for everybody. And you can also bring your kids, too, because they have things for kids there. There's arcades. There's activity center. You can drop your kids off for a while. They can run around and, jump around ball pits and all that stuff. So I think that's everything, right? Promotion, great venue, and a lot of patience. I forgot to add that in. You have to have a lot of patience. Because my hair used to be pure brown, and now I think there's 2 pieces left that aren't gray. So, and this all happened in a year.
No, I understand. It was like with my talk show. I started in 2013, and I started from a phone interview, and because I have a social anxiety, and I was still having panic attacks, and people will say to me, "You have this great format. Why aren't you as big or bigger when you portray yourself to be? Why do I have sponsors? Why do I have people helping you? Would you like to help me?" I said, no, if you can't do it yourself and it's not meant to be. One person told me to do it over, and thanks to you, we're up to 247.
Oh.
And, I interviewed actors, actresses, models, CEOs, professional wrestlers, dancers, cheerleaders, you name them, I got them. People with special needs, people without special needs. And it took 3 years. Now, my Twitter, I can't snap my fingers, but Twitter is booming.
Yeah,
I'm almost up to 500 followers. Still struggling with my Facebook fan page. Numbers are slowly moving. I don't know why. And I have Instagram, but I really don't care about Instagram.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I have a Tumblr account, an Instagram account, a Twitter account. I don't know how they all work, but I do them all because you don't know who you're going to get. You don't know who's going to see it, so it's like a message in a bottle. You throw it out there, and maybe it shows up on some beach. Maybe it shows up in New York. You don't know where you're going nowadays, but you got to just keep going out and doing it every single day. Absolutely.
Yeah, like I said, absolutely. I use LinkedIn, Stage 32, Facebook, and Twitter. And now for people out there, and next question I was going to ask you is what websites would you recommend, and what websites really helped you out the most?
Definitely ConventionScene.com. It tells you about all the conventions going on. And similar to Convention Scene, there's UpcomingCons.com. There's a lot of chat rooms you can join, like Reddit. You'll go under there, and there's cosplay groups, there's comic book collecting groups, toy collector groups, sketch covers, art covers. There's so many of these little niche groups out there on Facebook as well. So you just join all these groups, I mean, it sounds crazy, but the more you join, the bigger your audience gets. So when you announce something, maybe 500 people don't see it, maybe 5,000 people see it, and then you just go and go and go. We've been doing this Indiana Jones things for years. I mean, literally, it's like 9 years now. We've got listeners all over the world, Russia, France, Antarctica. I mean, it's everywhere. It's crazy. So you don't know who you're going to reach week to week with the podcast and the website. And let me tell you, Indiana Jones is a huge franchise like Star Wars, but the Raider.net, which is a site that I also work on, I think our Facebook page has maybe 5,000 people, and our Twitter account has maybe 2,800 people. And I mean, you would think with the subject matter like Indiana Jones, we would have millions or tens of thousands, but that's not always the case. Doesn't mean the quality's bad. It just means that the message isn't getting out to everybody. So you just have to keep plugging along, and every day you get one or two more and one or two more, and, you know, pretty soon it'll take off even more.
No, absolutely. Would you recommend getting a marketing person? Would that help, or you think just do it yourself?
No, do it yourself. I mean, you don't need us. I'm fortunate because I actually did marketing, so I know how to do a lot of this stuff. But you don't really need that. Nowadays, it's set up so anybody can almost build a website. Anybody can do a podcast. You just have to have a camera and a Podomatic. You can go there and I do one of those now every week just for fun of it. Yeah, a lot of this stuff you can do yourself. You don't need fancy-dancy marketing people and advertising people. Just go out there and push it and push it and push it, you know?
No, absolutely. Now, I'm going to pass, with the last 10 minutes left, I'm going to pass the show over to you. Was there any subjects you want to talk about? Anything you want to promote? Anything you want to ask me? This is your time after all.
Oh, no, thanks for I love to talk. Anybody who knows me knows I love to talk, so it's great to be on the show. What I want to know always is, what do people really want to walk away from? I mean, I ask that survey all the time. I know they come to shows, and I'll get down to it. I'll say, are you coming to buy toys? Are you coming to buy comic books? Are you coming to get autographs? Are you coming to dress up in costume? And I really want to know, because what they like to do, I want to expand on it and give them more of it. Because, you know, if it's like running a restaurant. If they only want to eat hamburgers, then don't sell hot dogs. If they want to eat pizza, then don't sell Jell-O. So I ask those questions to people. And I walk around constantly. I go to comic book stores, movie theaters, video game stores, wherever there's people that are into this stuff, I'll go and talk to them. And I ask them the same question. But you know what drives me crazy? They say all of it. And that's nuts. It's like, well, I know you like all of it, but which one do you like? It's like, I like all candy bars. No, which do you like? Skittles better than Snickers? Do you like peanut butter cup better than Mounds? Which one do you like? No, I like all of them. So I'm going to ask you that question. I'm going to turn it back on you. What's your favorite thing? Do you like collecting stuff? Do you like talking about actors? Do you like getting merchandise, shirts? What do you like? What do you collect? What are you into?
Well, I collect, anything that catches my interest. I give you a perfect example. I have a Good Luck cat.
There you go.
And I have one of these. I'm a big fan of the professional wrestling, the WWE.
Okay.
I said WWF, but WWF, WWE, for professional wrestling, Dragon Ball Z. I collect statues. I don't drink, but I collect shot glasses.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's just like shirts. Sometimes.
Everything. You like everything. Is that what you're killing me here, Keith? You're killing me. See, I got stuff too. We don't know why, but see, it's not working right now, but it used to work. I think my wife took the batteries out of it. Wait. Yeah, it's working. All right, now I know why she took there we go. Yes, I have that. It just scared my poor dog an inch of his life. He just jumped a mile. So yeah, I have stuff too. I guess I answered my own question. I'm one of you. I just like the same stuff you do. I mean, look at this. Why? Why do I have a BB-8 on my desk? I don't know. Why? I have this. I've got my comic books I just got. Just got my previews today. Went to the comic book store, so I'm going to be looking through this. This nuts.
I give you a perfect example. Like statues.
Yeah.
Anything that's unique, like pictures, statues.
Yeah. There's my podcast mic right here. Nice one I got for Christmas right there.
That's really nice.
Yeah, it was on sale at Amazon. It's a good one.
Can you do different voices with it?
You can, actually. You know what? I actually interview myself. I do a segment on the IndieCast where I interview old Indiana Jones. So what I do is I record one track where I ask all the questions in my normal voice, and then I go back and I listen to it, and I answer the questions in my old Indiana Jones voice as if I was 115 years old or something like that. So I'm basically talking to myself, and that's a little weird, but yeah, because that microphone's so cool, I can just switch the different tracks, and you can make yourself sound all kind of things. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun to talk to yourself on the radio or podcast. So.
No, absolutely. You know, I don't collect everything and like every little thing.
You couldn't.
It has to be unique. It has to have some value to it. Like everything has a value.
I know.
But it has to be, you know, statues, pictures, and sometimes shirts and pants. But then you get bored of it.
Yeah, the problem with collecting clothes is eventually got to throw them away. You know what I mean? They wear out, they get ripped, they get ruined, the stains on them. So, it's all right. I hear you too. I have so many T-shirts. My wife kills me. Literally, I have drawers of just different T-shirts. And I've organized them so nuts that this is the Star Wars drawer, this is the Marvel Comics drawer, this is the Yankees and New York Giants drawer. But you know, it's bad. I mean, you don't want to part with them because you like the image that's on the shirt, so it means something to you. But right. You can't keep everything forever, you know. But I guess that's just some kind of gene we have, some kind of collecting gene. It doesn't go away.
I'm going to ask you while wrapping up.
Yeah.
We worked with a lot of famous people. You talked to a lot of famous people. And there's two questions I'll ask you. But the first one is, well, I was hinting towards, what are your most favorite stories that you have from working with, you know, Kevin Smith and and Stan Away? Did he ever pull pranks on them, or did they ever pull pranks on you, or any funny stories?
The funny story I ever have, and I tell this story to a lot of people, happened way before podcasting. It was even invented. I met Harrison Ford in 1999, so it's a long time ago. It's almost 20 years ago already. And what happened is, back in the day, there used to be no cell phone cameras. There was these cameras that they were called the 110 camera. It looked like a little candy bar, like a rectangle. And you have to hold it up and you press it and you'd advance it. Remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah. So I'm in New York at a party and Harrison Ford's the guest and I'm there and I get a picture with him and all that. So I'm walking away and some woman grabs me and says, "Hey, you." I'm like, "What?" "You take my picture with Harrison Ford right now." I was like, "Really?" And my wife left and Harrison Ford's like, "Could you hurry it up, hurry it up?" I said, "Sure, sure." So I go, it's dark out and I go to put the camera up to my eye and I'm nervous. I want to hurry up because he's hurrying me up. And I can't see them, you know, when you look through the viewfinder, you can see, I don't see them in there. And I go, "Lady, I'm looking, I don't see anything." And she's like, "Well, hurry it up, it's all set, just aim it at us and press the button." I said, "But I'm telling you, it must not be on. I don't see you in the viewfinder." So he goes, "Just hurry up and take the picture." He's getting annoyed. So, all right, so I go to do it, and I don't see the shutter, but I see the shutter on this side. I'm like, why is the shutter on the left instead of the right? Whatever. So just as I'm pressing down that shutter, even though I can't see anything in that black square, I see Harrison Ford start to go like this and go, no, wait. And what happened is I had the camera backwards. I was so nervous. And I ended up taking a picture of my eye. The flash went off in my eye, and he goes, "You just took a picture of your eye." So I can't see now. I got this big green blob in front of me. So I throw the camera back at him, and he takes it, and he throws it at me. And we're passing this camera back and forth. We can't see. He's laughing. Everybody ran away, cracking up laughing. The woman is furious. She takes the camera out of our hands. She's like, "You jerks." And she's like trying to find if she has one more picture. And then he can't stop laughing. So he puts it up to my face. He's like, "All right, look through this one. Can you see me?" I'm like, "Yes." He goes, "All right, now get it right this time, will you?" So I did it, and I took the picture, and, you know, that was it. And I went walking away. My wife was hiding in the corner, just like shaking her head in embarrassment. And Harrison Ford comes up to me, and he puts his hand out. And I go, "Uh-oh, he's going to hit me." So I put my hand out, and he shakes my hand. He goes, "Listen, kid, I got a million pictures taken of me in my life, but I'm always going to remember this picture. This is the best one I ever had, the fact that you took a picture of your eye." So all night long, he's there at a table with all his friends. And every time I would get up to go to the bathroom or go to the bar to get a drink or something like that, he'd point over and go, "And there's the guy right there." And I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" So that's my favorite story. I've told that a lot, but that's my Harrison Ford story. So.
Yeah, he's a great actor. I would love to meet him and have him as a guest.
Oh yeah. I don't think he'll ever do a comic convention, but that's another story.
Well, actually, it's kind of funny you should mention that while wrapping up. Carrie Fisher is going to be at New York Comic Con, and I think Mark Hamill's going to be there, but I'm not really sure.
Okay,
Why would they do it, but not him?
Well, I've met both of them at comic conventions in the past, and they seem to be more fan-oriented. Not that Harrison Ford dislikes his fans. I think he likes them for giving them his lifestyle and everything he has, his house, his cars, his helicopters, his airplanes. It's all because of people like us that have gone to his movies, so I think he's appreciative of that. But I don't think he owes them anything beyond his job, you know what I mean, besides what he's done, you know what I mean? So that's what I really think. I think he doesn't want to do this. He doesn't think he has to do it. So that's an answer. I don't know. I don't know what his reasons are. That's just my opinion. He just doesn't feel like he has to do it.
All right. Well, wrapping up the talk show segment. Stay tuned to after the show. I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Wrapping up, going on the record, when I first approached you for being a guest on my talk show, what was your honest opinion? And after being a guest on my show, how do you feel now?
Well, to be honest with you, I get a lot of emails every day. So you kind of just went into this folder I have that's called press requests. And as soon as I see I'd like to interview, I actually just put them in there. And I don't, because if I answer every single email that comes in, and I do answer every email, but if I answer them the second they come in, I wouldn't get anything done. So I actually put stuff in a folder. And then when I've got all the guest airline flights booked, I've got all the rides booked, I've got the posters done, promotion, radio, billboard, everything's done. I just have 3 weeks now that I have to wait till the show actually gets here, so I have time on my hands. So I went back into the press folder, and I started answering all the emails to people, and I saw that you had 3 or 4 requests in there. I was like, oh, I've got time to do this now. And I didn't even know how to, this is my very first Skype interview like this. This is like walking on the moon for me. I've never done this before, and I don't even know if it's working. I was like, I don't know how to do it. So, yeah, I mean, that's why it took so long, because I can't talk ask my wife and kids, I won't talk to anybody for about 8 months. And then once the show's over, I have like a week off, and I just like sleep. And then I start it all over again for next year. So that answers that question. That's the reason why I didn't get back to you is I'm just doing all the interviews now. I got 2 more after you today on other podcasts. And the other question was, what do I think after I talked to you today on the show? I actually have to think this is one of the best ones I've done, because usually I'm just on a phone, doing this. Even when I do my own podcast, I don't see the other person, so it's hard to have a conversation, so it's a little awkward, and it adds a little bit more personal level to it, so it's easier to talk to you because I can see you, and it's more inviting, like we're actually at a restaurant or a diner having a conversation with 2 friends rather than me staring at the wall and not knowing what you look like or what you're doing at the other end. Like, this guy's a jerk, it's hanging up on him. It's like, that type of thing. So, yeah, it's been a blast, and I really appreciate you having me, and I appreciate you having the patience with me, because I didn't get back to you immediately. It just took about 3 or 4 times before I actually answered the phone. I wasn't being a jerk. I'm just really busy, because I only do this by myself, so that's why.
No, I'm a good person. I do stupid things. People think I personally do it to get a rise out of some. I stutter. I apologize.
I didn't even notice until you mentioned it, but
I do stupid things, like not to get a rise. And sometimes I do it to get a rise, but sometimes I just do it without realizing it. And I don't know, I'm awkward. So that's why my brother doesn't take me anywhere, because I'm awkward.
From Florida, Mike?
No, my brother doesn't take me anywhere because I'm awkward.
Oh! I thought you said Mike Broward. I'm like, that guy? That's another promoter down south. I'm like, oh, I know him. That's all right. But you're fine.
You should mention I am talking to a lot of promoters, and maybe you can put a good word in. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, sure. Again, I told them that they don't talk, no one's going to know about their show. So take every opportunity you can to get up there and sell some soap.
No, absolutely. Now, wrapping up the interview segment, I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show. It's a real honor and privilege.
Oh, but pleasure's all mine, sir. Thank you very much for having me and listening to me drone on about my stories about Harrison Ford and stuff.